Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic and partly sunny day on planet Earth. I'm going to Khao Chan, that sort of area, which is Buddha Mountain to the Westerners. I'm not sure yet. I might go to my thinky place. I've been researching loads of things, but the main thing I'm actually looking at the minute is when I go touring. I've had a bit of problem with my leg recently, my right leg. If people don't know, yes, I do suffer with back pain, I do suffer with back problems, and the medical massages you get over here are very, very vigorous, and they sort the problems out, they iron the problems out, and they get rid of the problem. Not like in the UK where they just put a plaster on everything so you keep coming back. There's a bit of a problem in Chiang Mai at the minute, which is the base of where I'm going, starting from when I go touring. They've got a bit of a problem with flooding at the minute. It's quite catastrophic. People have died, 40 something people have died. The rivers are just absolutely ridiculously over flooded. So there's something like about 4,200 villages that have been affected. So I'm not going up there yet. The plan is I'm going on at the end of this month. The rainy season ends in October, so yeah, it's a risk, but that's what I'm planning to do. I'm going to do my 90-day report, and then I'm going to go up to Chiang Mai. I'm going to go around the Mae Hong Son loop. Then I'm going to come back to Chiang Mai, and then I'm going to go up to Chiang Rai. But that's the idea, is I'm doing the north side, and then I'm going east, and then going down the east side of Thailand all the way back home. And then at a later date, when finances pick up a bit more, I'll do the west side, and I'll go down to I'll probably go back up to Mae Hong Son, because it's 700 and something turns on one part from Chiang Mai to Pai, which is PAI. There's 762 turns or something like that on one road. Oh, it's going to be biking heaven. So I may actually go back up there at a later date, and then do the west side of Thailand and go down to Krabi. I think I just want to go to Krabi. Then I go to Phuket, and that's where we'll end up, I think. The view from here is stunning. I'm going to that temple there, which you can't really see because it's just too far for your eyes to see. There's Khao Chan, which is Buddha Mountain, and as you can see, there is no traffic. I could never explain the feeling that Thailand gives you when you're here. The feeling of freedom, the feeling of... This is what it was like in the UK in the 80s. You do get rough places, you know, where you get people dumping rubbish, and well, that looks like dumped rubbish, it's probably somebody's riches, but you do get those, you know, you get them all over the bloody world. Going back about 4 or 5 months ago, I did something and I said that I cannot find anything negative about Thailand. Now, I don't take a negative point as something that can happen anywhere in the world, or something that does happen anywhere in the world. It annoys me when people say that Thailand's got poverty all over the place. Poverty does not exist. Poverty is a thing that the Western world created to make people feel bloody bad. So if we say that 5%, I think it's 6% of the Thai people are below the poverty level, that is a Western world thing. It's set by the Western world. It's been integrated into Thailand because they seem to have to. But to me, it's completely wrong, because this is Thailand. Thailand is completely different to the Western world. And I wish people would get that into their head, that poverty does not exist. I watched some videos by I can't remember his name now, every single time. And he was talking about poverty. Now, what I'll do is I'll put a link to that into the description so you can actually watch it yourself. And he talks about poverty and how poverty is not a thing in Thailand.
Listen. I can hear my bike ticking. This is deafeningly quiet. One day I would do it today, but unfortunately my leg's a bit painful. But when my leg's sorted, one day I'll walk up there. Where else can you just walk down the middle of the road with absolutely zero fear of getting run over by anything? Wow, it's so hot, so very humid. I've got to be quiet because this is a place of worship and this is my thinky place. Somebody said on one of my videos that Thailand is a struggle at best with virtually no help from the government. Well, when I was in the UK, I paid into the system for 40 years. 40 years. In fact, it was more than 40 years. And when I needed it, when I hurt my back, the government basically said to me in an assessment that said that, yes, you're disabled. We fully acknowledge you're disabled, but you're not going to get anything. Because apparently I wasn't disabled enough. Which I don't understand how that works, but they don't take stairs into account. If I was to do an 8-hour shift in the UK, I'll get down the stairs, I'll get to work, I've got to drive to work, and then I've got to drive back, then I've got to get back up the stairs. Getting back up the stairs would not happen. I'd be completely crippled. But the same sort of Thai massage in the UK would cost £130 for an hour. And as it stands, I'll pay £6 and that's it. Actually, I'll probably pay £8 with a tip. And that keeps them going for a week, maybe a week and a half, depending, what I do, how I do it, if I hurt myself. And in the UK, that's £130. Now, because of the cold, because of the damp and everything else, I probably need 2 of those a week. So that's 1,040 quid a month. I can't afford that, but I can afford the medical treatment over here at £8 a week. That's it. £32 a month, that's all I pay. There's quite a few people who have said, don't sell it, rent it out, in regards to my flat. Now obviously the flat's gone now and I'm so glad it has. I was told about the EPC before I even applied for an EPC, and I was told that I would really struggle renting it out. When I went to sell the flat, obviously you've got to have an EPC done, and I had the EPC done and it came back as an F, I think it was. An F, which is absolutely diabolical. And as I said on the comments, I might as well take the roof off. It also said on that report, it said that you cannot rent your flat out, basically. On the report it says about storage heaters, about cavity wall insulation, which has already been done, but I didn't have certification. That was with the landlords, and he didn't even bother asking. He just said, well, it's not available. There was the roof space as well, which was probably a 2-foot gap between the ceiling and the roof. That was a complete void, so I'd have to get all that insulated. So with the storage heaters and everything else, and the electric boiler and God knows what, it cost me around about 15 grand to actually get it into a rentable state. If the tenants are a right bastard, then I've got there's just too many worries that I just could not do it, and it had to go. And also the net zero thing that the government is bringing in. If you're not net zero, your household isn't net zero, you'll get taxed. Another tax, They'll probably put it onto the council tax, or they take it as source. Being a G rating, which is very low, that I used to get 25% council tax reduction for being single. They'd take that off me immediately, which they're talking about doing as well anyway. So you'd have that taken off you, and then you'd also have an additional tax for not being net zero. So to me, I could not keep that flat. I just could not keep it. And I firmly believe that I did exactly the right thing at exactly the right time. I'm so glad that I did it. And the people who said, as I said earlier, the people who said, oh, you're going to be in 12 months time, you'll be back in the UK, or 10 years time, I'm not going back to the UK. I am not going back, I can guarantee that 100%. The only way I'll go back to the UK is either two ways. Is number one, go and visit my friends and family, or number two, in a box. I'm not going back to the UK to live. I will not do it. I do live in paradise. It's deathly silent here. The silence is deafening. And I can stand next to this thing, which you can't get any idea of the size of this. It must be 60 feet square and at least 150 feet high. But you can't get any idea of the size of it. It's just a ginormous thing. The views on between Chiang Mai and Pai, on that road, the views are absolutely stunning, so you're going to get to see that as well. But I am doing it. I've got to do it. If I only do it once, I only do it once, but I've got to do that tour. I've got to do the Mae Song loop. Somebody else said that as soon as you come over to Thailand and all you need is a massage. I mean, how shallow-minded are you, for God's sake? You don't know what the massages are over here. They are incredibly vigorous, they're incredibly intense, and they hurt. They really do hurt for a very short amount of time. But you know that pain is going to be relieved as soon as you walk away. Now, when I go for my Thai massage, my medical Thai massage, when I go for that, the little old lady, she must be in the 60s or 70s. She uses her elbows, her knuckles and fingers and God knows what to push my sciatic nerve back into its proper tract, or whatever you call it. And that relieves my pain, and I can feel things going back into the right place. And they cure everything.
You could be sitting there in the UK, you know, heading into autumn, it's freezing cold, the trees are turning brown. Over here, it's always summer, it doesn't go cold, and the trees are always green. There you can see Khao Chi Chan, or Buddha Mountain, more commonly known as. Just to the left of Khao Chi Chan, which you can't see now, you've got Ramayana Water Park, which is apparently the biggest one in Asia. It's not finished. I don't even know if that's the sort of thing that will get finished. It's like the Sanctuary of Truth. The Sanctuary of Truth will never get finished as such. So, but I think that Ramayana Water Park is the same sort of thing. It's an ongoing thing. It's open to the public. Massive place. I think I'll go and buy some food to feed the fish. 100, please. Thank you. Bought a bag of food. It's basically bread. Well, it's his bread. And some things, I don't know what they are. What I'm going to do is feed fish. You see the size of this lake, you know, it's a massive lake, but when you're videoing things like this, it looks very, very small, but it's just not. Let's see what success we have here. Over there is like a just complete bloody feeding frenzy. This is just incredible. Oh, I got wet. So therapeutic, you will believe. So very therapeutic. Now I'm suitably wet. I think we'll go back.
จานเลยลูก อร่อยไหม
อ๋อเลยYeah, you keep for you. For you. Thank you.
This is Buddha Mountain, and I can't tell you, I can't even put into words how big that place is. That's monument. I'm not going to go in because I've already done a video about that, which I did an aerial shot as well. I actually managed to get the drone up in the air from over here, so I'll put a link in the description for that video. Look at this, I've even got my own lane. There's only me on it. This is my bike lane. I mean, that place is there is like Stark Enterprise or whatever you call it in Iron Man. That's the sort of view that I get at that place. This doesn't do it justice, but that is massive place. Monkey! I saw the monkeys! Yanasang Vararam. Is it? Let's have a look down here. Pattaya! And then Highway 331. You've got to turn left into the lake, but we're not going that way. There it is. Yanasang Vararam. I got it right. And this island, oh, he's going round it. He's on his phone though. This island, they get confused. Look. They get confused and they just go the other way. Anyway, I'm going to get my massage done because my leg is suddenly, well, not suddenly, my leg has been painful all day. And I haven't had a massage for a week. And get a lovely, brutal massage off my 70-year-old lady. If you're following a vehicle, right, the safest place you can actually sit is just on the rear left. If obviously we're on the left-hand side of the road here, so the safest place is on the rear left. Now that stops. He's getting away. Bloody hell! I didn't think it was going to go that fast. Anyway, so if you imagine you got somebody coming this way, and they want to turn in front of you, they can't hit you because you're close to the vehicle in front on their rear left. Now, not only that, but you can see clearly around them, and you can also see what's coming the other way. Well, obviously, you know, but that is the safest possible place you can actually sit, is the rear left of the vehicle in front, so as you can see round both ways, and also it shields you from anything coming in that wants to turn after that vehicle. How many are in the back of that pickup, eh? Oh dear. It's now 5:20, so if I'm in massage, if there's a free place, that'll be for an hour. And I am so glad that I got this tinted visor as well. The amount of times that I've been heading into the sun and I can see perfectly and nobody else can. Open.